So today I have to report on something that's pretty heartbreaking concerning Zack Snyder. Zack Snyder, his daughter apparently last March, 20-year-old daughter, committed suicide, and he has now stepped away from the project to be with his family and to console his family. I'll read from the article. This is being reported by the Hollywood Reporter, uh, and I will give most of my thoughts near the end, maybe a couple of thoughts as I read. But um, apparently, it says the filmmaker's daughter died by suicide in March, prompting him to take a break from work and hire Joss Whedon to finish the Warner Brothers superhero pick. Quoting, "I've decided to take a step back from the movie to be with my family, be with my kids who really need me." Man, it's just heartbreaking. Snyder's wife, Deborah Snyder, who was a producer on Justice League, also is taking a break to focus on the healing of their family. Stepping in to shepherd the movie through post and the shooting of some additional scenes will be Joss Whedon, the Avengers filmmaker and creator of Buffy the Vampire Slayer. With Whedon's help, the movie is still on track for its November 17th release date. Um, so it says that her death had been kept private, with only a small inner circle aware of what happened, even as the movie was put on a 2-week break for the Snyders to deal with the immediate effects of the tragedy. Zack Snyder says he initially was eager to return to the film, which stars Ben Affleck, Gal Gadot, Jason Momoa, and Ezra Miller. And it quotes him saying, "In my mind, I thought it was a cathartic thing to go back to work, to just bury myself and see if that was the way through it," said an emotional Snyder in an interview Monday in his office on the Warner Brothers lot with Deborah sitting by his side. "The demands of this job are pretty intense. It is all consuming. And in the last 2 months, I've come to the realization I've decided to take a step back from the movie to be with my family, be with my kids who really need me. They are all having a hard time. I'm having a hard time." Says the studio is fully behind the move. "What they are going through is unimaginable, and our hearts go out to them," says Warner Brothers Pictures president Toby Emmerich. One of the first things the studio floated was the possibility of pushing back the release date of the movie, but the Snyders decided against that. Warner's also extended Snyder's first look deal to give him time to work on other planned projects when he returns to work. Um, I want to. Well, I'll keep going, then I'll get my thoughts at the end. It says, Snyder, after seeing a rough cut of Justice League for fellow filmmakers and friends, wanted to add additional scenes, so he brought Whedon on board to write them. But as he prepared to shoot the scenes in England, Snyder realized it was not the time to leave home. "The directing is minimal, and it has to adhere to the style and tone and the template that Zack set," said Emmerich. "We're not introducing any new characters. It's the same characters in some new scenes. He's handing the baton to Joss, but the course has really been set by Zack. I still believe that despite this tragedy, we'll still end up with a great movie." And it goes on to talk about when Heath Ledger passed away after filming The Dark Knight and changes they had to make. So it goes on to say the internet and comic book movie fans being what they are, Snyder already is anticipating what some DC loyalists may think. He quotes him saying, "Here's the thing, I never planned to make this public. I thought it would just be in the family, a private matter, a private sorrow that we would deal with. When it became obvious that I need to take a break, I knew there would be narratives created on the internet. They'll do what they do. The truth is, I'm past caring about that kind of thing now." I'm going to stop right there because I can't get past that. I really can't. If you create a narrative based around this heartbreak, you are a scumbag. You are an absolute scumbag. It's just a movie. I mean, when it's all said and done, this is just a film. And this is not a time to take a stab at Zack Snyder or to in any way denigrate the work that he's been trying to work on. And if you guys see any articles trying to create a narrative around this or videos or some such, I encourage you to just don't just walk out the door on whoever that is, but let them know why you're walking out the door, because that is just, that kind of thing is inexcusable. It is absolutely callous and heartless and inexcusable. Tolerate that from nobody. These people, they need our love and support right now. Uh, you know, how you feel about his style of film is, it's nothing. He, yeah, don't do it. Just don't do that. He does say, I want the movie to be amazing, and I'm a fan, but that all pales pretty quickly in comparison. I know the fans are going to be worried about the movie, but there are 7 other kids that need me. In the end, it's just a movie. It's a great movie, but it's just a movie. And you know what? I wholeheartedly agree with his decision. I mean, this isn't even a decision, you know. I mean, and I can really appreciate, you know, that he tried to go back to work and tried to, you know, work his way through it through work. And you know what? Nobody troll him for his candidness. Okay, he's being frank and he's heartbroken and he's laying it out there that, you know, he's just confessing that that's the way that he was trying to process it. Nobody troll him for that. I think that we've had enough trolling of public figures for trying to be honest. You know, we've been playing gotcha for too long now, and that's a terrible habit anyway. But right now it's inexcusable. So please don't do that. It says Autumn. That was her name, Autumn Snyder. She was attending Sarah Lawrence College, and she loved to write. They say she had written a sci-fi fantasy novel in the first person. It featured a character who was an outsider and who had trouble fitting in. Um, Deborah's holding on to the thought that she was the first person her daughter gave the book to read, even now as the story takes on a whole new meaning under the circumstances. And she's quoted saying, "You're hearing her voice," Deborah says, fighting back tears. The Snyders would like to someday see the manuscript published, with the proceeds going to charity. In the end, she didn't make it, but her character does, and I think there would be something cathartic for people, says Zack. And you know what? I hope they put it out. You know, put it out. I will buy. I will buy a copy of this. You know, just to honor her and to honor them. And just it says that the last part of the article is the thought of his daughter's writing prompts Zach to recall another memory. Autumn had a quote that she included in every single thing she wrote. He says every single thing, and it was from the author Chuck Palahniuk. We all die. The goal isn't to live forever. The goal is to create something that will. He says maybe this helps, and I hope they do. And I will definitely get a copy if they decide to put that out. But it's truly heartbreaking, guys. You know, I was actually coming in to do my regular podcast and talk about some news with you guys, but this just, I feel like this just needed to sit by itself. I don't really feel comfortable. Like, I don't really think it honors them enough to squeeze this in with other news bits. So I will get my podcast to you guys tomorrow. My thoughts and my prayers and my heart is with the Snyders right now, and I just pray that they find peace and are able to work their way through it. And my hat's off to Joss Whedon, helping to fill the gap and finish the film. I mean, I don't think it's in any better hands than Joss Whedon's hands, and I'm glad it's him. He's a very high quality filmmaker, and I think that he'll do nothing but add to the film. So I look forward to the movie, and we'll one day judge the movie on its own merits. But for now, let's just honor the Snyder family and respect them, and grieve with them a little bit. But definitely don't use this as an opportunity to make some sick narrative. But well, okay, guys. So I wish I'd had better news to share with you today, but I felt like this was important, and I want to let you guys know about it. So, just like I said, you guys take care of yourselves out there, and I will see you tomorrow.